Okay, Heath and Heather, um, how men and even Tim, like, I want y'all to hone in on how men and women grieve differently. And Tim, do you want to open it up? Like, how do you feel like your grief journey was so different from Amber's?
You have to pop in. It's on. Sorry, I'm scooting over. It's different for men because I think men want to be like the backbone. They want to be the person that the wife is supposed to rely on and cry on. And to me, Maddie's is like the opposite shoulder, basically. It's something that we never thought we'd be a part of, but I'm thankful for because like she's a person that doesn't really like to like express feelings, but if she wants to, I'm here, and she can relate to everybody on this screen right here, and I'm sure all of y'all would be the same way. It's a organization that takes some of the burden off of them, off the men per se, and it makes a connection with women that all have a one thing in common that men can't really understand because we didn't bear the child, but we were there with you the whole time. So Maddie's is just such a great organization that it like the first meeting we went to was 2 weeks after. So we literally were there, right after it happened. So, and I'm thankful for every meeting that we've gotten to go to, just because it's like a sisterhood, I guess, in a way. Not that I'm a sister, but it's
Well, and you've even seen where our meetings are often like our Sunday Footprints of Hope meetings have been like 50-50. There's as many men in that meeting as there is women. So it's a good bonding experience for men too.
Yeah, I've noticed since the first one that I went to or we went to, gradually more men are starting to go, and I love going to stuff like that because I like hearing, no offense to none of y'all, I love hearing y'all stories because they're so diverse. It's a horrible thing, but it's, y'all are some of the strongest women I've ever seen, like y'all are great. And it's just cool to see that husbands are starting to venture out a little bit more,
Yeah, and talk about their own loss. What about you and Heath, Heather?
Well, I feel like our relationship, okay, so like in the acute phase, like when it just happened, I just had to say it over and over and over. And it's like I had to just keep talking about it. I couldn't stop. I had to say it over and over and over. And I'm talking like the first few months because it's like my brain, I had to say it so much so that I could absorb what was happening, But then from that stage, I felt like he would try to just fix me. And so whenever I guess our relationship got better after the boys, whenever I would be like, okay, like, just listen to me. I just need to be heard right now and just tell me, okay, I'm just feeling anxious or I'm just sad right now, and just say, okay. Don't try to like fix me because there's nothing that's going to fix me, But I felt like he would almost turn inward and not want to talk, whereas I was like, I'm not going to shut up about it. I can't. I got to say it 5 million times. That's how I got to deal with this, Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, and Brittany, you and John grieved differently, right? He was more of an outward griever. You were more of the internal griever, correct?
Correct. Correct. Yes. John was a bit more vocal of how he was feeling, and I just shut down. I was just like, we don't need to talk about it. It happens. Let's move on. Move on, And so eventually, I opened up and started talking about it, which actually was what I needed.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So y'all were the example that it was almost kind of like, according to statistics, it was role reversal, really.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Definitely.